Hey there, welcome back. I had such a great time playing Dungeons and Dragons with you last time. I'm glad you've decided to come back for more. Catra and Vaer had some wild adventures together, but you didn't get to hear the full story. Those two had lots of adventures before their final battle to save the material plane. In fact, why don't I take you through some of them? You'll get to see how Catra's relationship with Vaer developed more closely, meet new characters, talk with some of your favourites, fight new monsters, and explore hidden corners of the Forgotten Realms. First off, though, do you want a refresher on how the game works? It's been a bit since the last time we played. Great. Let's get started. Now, you were playing Catra, but do you mind reminding me what class you were? Now, your character's growth is going to be a bit different this time around, so we're going to allocate your stats from scratch. Okay, next let's allocate your stats. You want me to explain how stats and dice rolling work in this game? Stats determine what you're good at. Each stat has a use in combat, but they can also apply to role-playing situations and other things you do while adventuring in the world. Whenever you roll the 20-sided die, you'll add whichever stat applies to the roll. So, say you've got a +3 in Wisdom and need to see if someone is telling the truth, you would roll the d20 and add 3 to whatever you rolled. That insight check would show how well you're able to read that person's intentions and emotions. Rolling high means you can understand them and see through any lies they might be telling. Rolling low means that you believe whatever they're saying. Within reason, of course. If you roll a 20 on that die, then you'll almost certainly succeed at whatever you're trying to do, or at least get useful info. Let's try an example. You are speaking to a tavern keeper, asking after some local bandits that you've been hired to hunt down. He talks easily enough, but he says that he has no information on these people or where to find them. Okay, you rolled a 10, so add 3 to that. With a 13, you notice him tense and almost physically withdraw when you ask him about the bandits, giving you the sense that he is hiding something and knows more about the situation than he's letting on. That's pretty much it. Rolling a 20 when you hit someone in a fight also counts as a critical hit and doubles how much damage you do to them. Rolling a 1 on that die, though, can be really bad news. Sometimes it just means failing whatever you're doing. Sometimes it means failing so spectacularly that you, fall down a flight of stairs, out of a window and into a pen of screaming goats. Okay, probably not that specifically, but you get the idea. You'll also see that your class already has stats that will best support their abilities. How you add your extra stat points is up to you. Do you want to make them better at what they already do, or do you want to balance them out a bit? Great. Now that we've cleared that up, let's start with a little recap. You are playing as Catra, a young adventurer from Nash Kell. Your parents tasked you to investigate a series of disappearances in your village, suggesting that you speak to the nearby dragon, Endan Dravarir, or Vair for short. However, when you arrived in his cave, you witnessed a horrible scene. Mysterious assailants trapped Vair's soul in a coin and stole his body away after infecting it with some sort of parasite for their own nefarious purposes. The villains then misplaced the coin, and you, upon touching it, found Vair's soul forced into your own body. Note that Vair can talk to you, but only you can hear him. You return to your village only to find it set ablaze by the same people who had trapped Vair. They seem to be hunting you while everyone in your entire village, including your parents, have gone missing. As the pair of you set off on a journey to restore Vair to his body and rescue the missing townspeople, you begin exploring the world outside of your village for the first time. You too meet new allies, battle surprising and challenging enemies, and eventually learn of a coming calamity. While your relationship with Vair is rocky at first, you both find a strange comfort in one another's company, despite your unusual circumstances. Vair, however, has a terrible fear of small spaces and confinement, as they remind him of being rendered helpless while having his soul ripped from his body and stuffed into a coin. We rejoin our heroes after having faced the mage who stole Vair's body. But this story isn't about him. No, this is about your deal with Thesserai, Archmage and the Sage of Magic at Candlekeep. After you were arrested for sneaking into Candlekeep's inner ward, Thesserai offered to dismiss the charges and even help you to put Vair's soul back into his body in exchange for help with a task. Now that you have completed Thesserai's request, you return to the Great Library, where the powerful wizard awaits. After reporting to him, he reveals that those responsible for Vair's predicament may be a cult that worships insane, horrifying gods from beyond the stars called Elder Evils. He even has a lead on something that may help separate your soul from Vair's. Before you leave, though, it seems that he has another matter of great importance to discuss.
Oh, yes, I almost forgot. Before you head off to Icewind Dale, there is a favor I would like to ask of you. There's a magical artifact that might as well be a physical representation of chaos and probability, known colloquially as the Deck of Many Things. I've been experimenting with chaos magic for the past year or 3, and the Deck of Many Things has been integral to my research. Unfortunately, the problem with chaos magic is that it is, well, chaotic. My investigations have been rather fruitful, but one of my experiments may have gone a little, unexpectedly, and now the deck has been scattered all around the Sword Coast, even up to Icewind Dale. I cannot make the trip myself, I have too many responsibilities here, but if you can collect the cards for me, then we can both benefit from whatever magics I uncover in my work. Fortunately, I had the foresight to place tracking spells on each card, partly to see where the cards go after someone draws one. Unfortunately, the tracking is imprecise, so I can only point you in the right direction. That being said, each card is a magical artifact in its own right and is likely to have attracted some attention. Simply asking around and helping out the locals as you go could be a good way of finding the missing cards. Just don't try to reorganize them. Strange things could happen if you do, ranging from the inconvenient to the levels of horror that are reserved for nightmares and particularly bad advertisements. As a note, though, chaos magic is related to the energies of the outer planes. In other words, this research could be useful in finding out exactly what that masked mage with his little army of eldritch horrors intends to do. We might even help you find Endan Dravair's body. Just food for thought. Have fun roughing it in the wilds.
Catra, the Deck of Many Things is one of the most legendarily powerful artifacts in all the realms.
I gathered. But what does it actually do?
The Deck of Many Things is a set of cards like those you'd find in a set of playing cards. but each card carries with it a powerful magical effect. Using it is always risky, as some effects can be advantageous, but others disastrous. Few know exactly what the possibilities of its use are, but it is powerful enough to cause untold chaos in the wrong hands. At the same time, in the right hands, it could be the deciding factor in turning the tides of war. We must secure all the missing cards, as much as it pains me to do the bidding of Tesserae.
Yikes. I guess we better get going then. Excuse me? Hello? A moment if you be so kind, dearie. Oh, an adventurer? How convenient. How do you feel about making a little money, Depends on how I'd get it, I guess. Fair enough. My research partner has been gone for far too long. He's a naturalist specializing in magical creatures. I won't get into the weeds about it with you, but he likes to observe the beasts personally, and I wonder if something might have finally happened to him. Could you perhaps go find him? He mentioned that he would be observing the strange wildlife in the nearby ravine, whatever that's supposed to mean. I'll see what I can do about tracking him down. Good! Oh, the old fool probably tried polymorphing into whatever creature he was studying, or decided to go invisible and live in their den with them for a while, or something ridiculous like that. Just find him and tell him to come back already. Our latest paper is up for review, and I need him to help back it.
You again. I can't say I approve of Sage Tesserae's decision to make a deal with you. Makes upholding the law difficult if people think they can just make an agreeable exchange after they commit a crime. Still, perhaps we can get some use out of you. Help make up for the damage you did in the catacombs.
If it will bring me back into your good graces, then yeah, I'll help. What do you need?
Before you illegally entered the city, you might have noticed the small mist-shrouded island near Candlekeep. I need you to go there and lift the curse that keeps a perpetual mist in place. The lighthouse there is entirely obscured, and we need it visible, lest approaching vessels crash into the rocks. We've already had several such losses in the 3 years since this began. This is bad for commerce and an unacceptable hazard. Will you do it?
I'll look into this for you, but I'm not making any promises. I don't exactly specialize in curses.
That is fine. Information is what we need most of all. Go there, then tell us what you find. Head down to the docks attached to the Court of Air. You will find a ferryman to take you over.
Can I help you with something?
The captain of the guard said that you would take me to that island with the lighthouse on it.
Ah, another one, huh? Hope you have your affairs in order. Seems like half the people I take over there for her never make the return trip.
Yeah, she said something along those lines too.
Huh, your funeral? Well, come on then. I'll play the part of ferryman to the afterlife again, it seems.
That is disquieting. Perhaps there is a siren about.
A what?
A creature that sings to lure people into danger, usually to run a ship ashore so that it can eat whomever falls in the water. Keep an eye out. They are devious, but not too dangerous in a fight.
These skeletons are still wearing what's left of their armor.
They must be what is left of some of our predecessors, but I cannot tell whether these were avowed soldiers or mercenaries like us.
Like us? I'm not a mercenary.
You agreed to payment from someone you do not owe allegiance to in exchange for risking your life. That makes you a mercenary, especially considering how you are now killing monsters to secure that payment.
That's... okay, that's fair.
It is nothing to be ashamed of.
How is that sound supposed to lure anyone? It makes me want to run the other way.
Indeed. Perhaps not a siren, but something else. Look at that wall. Something happened there where that frame hangs.
Indeed, there is a simple frame here, though you do not know what for, and there is some damage to the wall behind it. Noticing a minuscule shard still clinging to the frame, you realize that this was once a mirror. Looking around, the light glimmers against something in the floorboards, and you discover that the mirror's glass has been so thoroughly broken and ground up that it is nothing more than sand. You also note that there is nothing else in here that could cast a reflection.
Don't like the sound of that.
Nor I. Be careful, child. That is no siren we hear. Cartero, that is a banshee! Block your ears, lest its wail kill you!
It can kill me just by screaming?
Please, I am sorry. I shall not try to hurt you again. My mind is not entirely my own, and I was frightened.
You were frightened? You tried to
I
kill
am
me.
sorry. I have been in this state for some time, and it feels like my thoughts become a bit more chaotic and nonsensical with every day. New people surprise me and upset me, especially after some tried to destroy me, and I have been alone for so long.
Who are you? Are you why this fog is always in place? Why won't you let anyone light the lighthouse?
My name is Cylindra. When I was alive, I had a vision for the city, a way to better it. But the sages were not willing to surrender the power they so cherish. I was sentenced by the petty and jealous men who rule Candlekeep to be this lighthouse's keeper for the rest of my days. One night, though, a ship appeared and grazed this island's rocky shore. I watched it happen, looking for any sign of why the crew did not steer away. But instead of men on the decks, I saw rats. Thousands of them. Many fled from the ship and onto the island, swimming to shore before swarming the tower. I locked the doors and heard them scratching and biting at the wood and trying to climb the walls. There was no way out, and I could only sit and listen, trapped. Eventually, I died, and my spirit was bound here by the horror that I had experienced. I cannot leave and am forced to relive those memories every day. It is driving me mad.
Do you know how we could bring you peace? Send you to the afterlife?
No, but I do know how you can free me from this island, at least. There is a circle of stones in the woods where druids sometimes meet to worship and conduct rituals. There is strong magic in that place, and if you burn my bones on the altar, along with a symbol of the event that so cursed me, my spirit will be lifted into the air with the smoke and ash, setting me free from my prison. I will be able to wander the world and leave those terrible memories behind.
What do you mean by a symbol? Any idea what we could use?
The ship that brought the rats here washed ashore nearby. That vessel was the architect of my death and will provide the means of my freedom. Find something unique to the ship, something that shows its identity, like the boards where its name is painted, for example.
All right, then. I'll help you.
Thank you. Truly, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Here. I will feel when the deed is done, and both the fog and I shall depart the moment it is, never to return. Farewell.
Child, I would be careful of that one. Banshees are not your average ghost or lost soul, and the stories I have heard are far from flattering. As far as I know, they are always elf women who have been punished for some misdeed. You may want to ask Tesserae about why she was imprisoned here before deciding to loose her upon the world. As one of the city's sages, he likely knows what happened.
I'll think about it.
Surprised to see you still alive.
it's true. Could there really be a dragon living underneath the library?
Getting tired of guard duty.
Back again? I'll take that to mean you want something.
Do you know anything about a woman who was forced to be the lighthouse keeper? She died and is turned into a banshee.
Oh, yes. Lindra Amakir, that venomous woman, was sentenced to the island for trying to take over Candlekeep. She had a small, dedicated following that wanted to make her queen and force the Avowed into servitude under her. She'd threatened and obtained blackmail on so many of the people in charge of the city that no one would dare arrest her until the sages themselves became involved. Nearly became a civil war. We sentenced her to the island so that she could serve the city that she had nearly destroyed while warning incoming ships away from the rocks and her equally perilous self. Guess that one came back to bite us, huh?
She wants to be free of the island, and told us that burning her bones at the druidic shrine, along with the symbol of the thing that killed her, would let her leave the island.
If done properly, it would do just that, and divines above help us if that were to happen. Knowing her, she would immediately seek vengeance and then abuse her new freedom to torment whomever looked at her sideways in life. It is not in a banshee's nature to recognize their own faults. They always blame others.
So we just leave her? Give up on the lighthouse?
Not necessarily. If you grind her bones to dust at the shrine and then scatter the dust to the ground while burning that symbol you mentioned, it will sever her connection with the island. That will tie her to the shrine long enough for her soul to pass on into whatever wretched afterlife she deserves. That being said, she probably won't be too happy if you do that, and will try to stop the ritual. Please at least consider doing the right thing, even if it's risky and a pain in the posterior.
I'll tell you how it goes.
From atop the city walls, I saw...
There, that figurehead on the ship will do perfectly for dealing with the Banshee Selindra.
looking to avoid a painful, gruesome death, you've come to the right place.
The shrine. If you have not yet, consider the repercussions of your decision here. It may be more dangerous for you to banish Cylindra, but setting her free could be disastrous.
Maybe. You think she's learned her lesson?
I sincerely doubt it.
What will you do? Free the Banshee or send her spirit onto whatever comes next?
Thank you, young one. I shall remember your kindness and thank you for it every day. Perhaps we will meet again sometime. Farewell.
I still question whether that was the right thing to do, child.
She seemed nice and sincere. I'm sure she just wanted to be free again. Huh. Cylindra dropped one of Thesserai's cards. Maybe she found it washed up on her island. Wonder why she was carrying it around, though. Hoping it would help somehow?
Stop, you pay 50 gold to pass, or I crush you.
Will I have to pay to come back this way?
Yes, 50 more.
That sounds like a lot of trouble, counting it all out every time I want to come by, especially since I'll be coming through here a lot. How about instead of 50 gold, I owe you 100 gold for every time I pass through here? That way, if I pass you 3 times, I'll owe you 300 gold, and I can pay it to you all at once when I'm done here.
300 more than 50, lot more, but now... Fine, but I keep count, not you.
I would never dream of cheating you. But if you insist, I shall trust that you won't cheat me either.
Good. Go now and come back soon, then leave and come back again and again. It's very good deal.
You never plan on paying him, do you?
Nope. How long do you think you'll keep counting each time we come and go?
He might count every time for the rest of his life, but whether he can even count the number of fingers he has is another matter entirely.
This supposed to be a camp? I don't even see the essentials. Nuts. Look like we missed him. Vayer, is there anything you can do to track him?
Do not call me that, and no, I cannot. If I were in my body, I could follow his scent, but your nose is not sensitive enough for the task. Instead, I would recommend looking for whatever ate his other journal. If it was truly a plant creature, then the journal might not be digested.
Well, it's a start, I guess. What is that thing?
I believe your people call them shambling mounds. Not exactly an imaginative name. Still, I haven't seen one of these in a century or two. They are quite rare. You should consider yourself lucky to have found one.
I would if it wasn't trying to kill me! Bit obsessive, don't you think?
A touch, yes. Still, we know where to go from here.
Right. Let's just hope we find more than just a pile of an owlbear's leftovers. I'm guessing that bond didn't work out quite as he thought.
Never trust a hungry predator, especially not one that does not fear humans. Speaking of which...
I am really getting sick of nature today.
Good work. Now you had best return and report what you have found.
Can't I at least get a breather? And was that a compliment?
Stop being dramatic. That fight was not so difficult. Now go.
Oh, looks like a card was among the owlbear's... refuse. Really wish I had some gloves right now.
there really be a dragon living underneath the library? Did you hear about Sage Alathir? The murder?
Yeah, murdered by a ghost in the street.
And now there is talk of this ghost showing up in other places, scaring people and shouting curses at them. Apparently, she's already promised to kill the remaining sages and a number of other people besides. I was wondering when you would return. It seems that I underestimated you. Truth be told, I half expected you to die or run away when I sent you to investigate the lighthouse. But here you are. The mists are gone and the island seems to be safe again. Thank you for your service to Candlekeep. Your payment, as promised.
If you'd like, we can continue on to more adventures now, or you can continue to explore. You'll always be able to come back later. If you're ready to move on, go speak with the man with the cart. He's a friendly sort, though I can't remember his name.
Well, hello again. Have you learned anything of my missing partner? Ma'am, I'm sorry to say that he's not coming back. By that, do you mean he's run off somewhere, or that his curiosity and incaution finally got the better of him? The latter. Ah! I knew it! I always told the old Koopa would he listen. No! It's a shame, though. Fool though he was quite a capable scholar. Still, I guess this means that I can take all of the credit on our new paper. Oh, yes, and here is your payment, dearie. Thank you for a job well done. That was an interesting response.
Normally, I would say that everyone handles grief in their own manner, but I agree. That seemed a bit triumphant.
Saw it coming from a mile away, but still, a bit harsh if you ask me.
Once again, we agree.
The Avowed better find a way of dealing with this. For all I know, I'll end up on her list too.
Wait, is that the sound of money?
I wonder if it's true. Could there really be a dragon living underneath the library? Need a lift?
After reconvening with Thesserai, you learn more about a special artifact that can help separate your and Vae's souls. In pursuit of this item, you board a ship headed for Icewind Dale. Upon arriving at the town of Caer Dineval, you are directed to a woman by the name of Helia Goatkicker. She can help you find Nalkra the Storm Giant, who should know something about the artifact according to Thessarai. As you turn to go, however, Helia calls you back to listen to her request.
Oh, yes. One more thing while I've got you here. How'd you feel about helping out the townsfolk by talking to the miserly creep that passes himself off as a lord up in that there castle?
Not exactly a flattering description. Has he done something to anger you?
Aye, me and the rest of the town. This storm you're seeing now, it's been blowing against us for nearly 3 straight months. People are starting to starve here, and even shoe leather and tree bark are starting to look tasty. That Lord Dunwyn, though, he's been eating fine. Plenty of stores and provisions to get him by, but does he share it with his people? Of course not.
And he would listen to me, why?
He might not, but he shut his doors to all the locals on account of so many people asking for his food. We can't even get in anymore, but you're not from here. It's get pretty boring around these parts, so he might just want to chat with you and see what stories you got from down south.
And if he won't listen?
Then tough luck. It was worth a shot, unless you think you could make him listen, if you know what I mean.
I'll give it a shot. No promises, though.
That's all I'm asking.
Normally, I would say to let the townsfolk fend for themselves or take the food they need from the Lord, but I am curious about this storm. It does not seem natural, though not as intense perhaps as the one Helia told us about that sits in the mountains. Perhaps the Lord can tell us more.
Welcome to Ciar Dinaval. Enjoy the summer weather.
Who goes there? A traveler from the south. I heard that the lord of this castle is in need of reliable news from beyond the Dale.
Yeah, who cares if it's reliable? You can tell me that the new Lord of Neverwinter is a giant bunny. I'll take whatever stories I can. And I'd wager his lordship would too. Hold on a minute. Please tell me you've got something good for us. It's been about as dull in here as my brother-in-law ever since the blizzard set in. Actually, save it. Just come with me and I'll take you to his lordship.
So you're the newcomer. Welcome, welcome. I must say, it's been some time since we've had guests. What can I do for you?
I offer news and stories from the south, though ask in exchange that you open your food stores and share with the people of Ciar Dinaval, who are on the brink of starvation.
Not another... Listen, I do not know what you've heard in town, but we're only doing marginally better up here. I have enough provisions for my family and staff to last us a few more weeks, yes. But we are rationing the food and haven't any despair.
Rationed food for several weeks is still better than nothing, which is what your people have.
I'm aware. I'm also aware that if my soldiers and staff aren't fed, then they won't be able to fend off a hungry mob. Heck, if they're not fed, they might join the mob. Even if I gave them everything right now, it wouldn't even provide a single full meal for every person in Ciar Dinaval. Either way, people will be hungry, and sooner or later, I expect the hungry masses to appear at my door with knives and pitchforks in hand. Commoners always think that their lords have food and wealth hidden away.
Then what have you done to fix this problem?
Nothing. What can I do? I don't have the power to change the weather.
But it cannot be natural. No storm lasts for months on end.
You would think, but here we... Actually, now that I get a better look at you with your weapons and whatnot, you strike me as a sellsword, or adventurer if you prefer that term. If you could find a way to end this blizzard and prove that you ended it, I'll be happy to reward you handsomely for your service. And it will go a long way toward ending our food shortage.
Ask if he has any notion as to where the storm came from. These things often accompany an event or are caused by a creature or curse.
Do you have any idea as to what might be causing the storm?
I haven't the foggiest, but we're grasping at straws here. There's a lumberjack who's been reviving some old wives' tale about a frozen matron.
What's that?
Like I said, a wives' tale. A local superstition and fable about some grandmother in the mountains who helps a town in times of need. Complete rubbish. Though there may be a grain of truth to it. He could tell you the rest, I'm sure, but then only too eager to harp on about it whenever he stops by the end, as I understand.
Right then. I'll be back once I know more.
An adventurer? You'll be sorry if you don't buy some potions before going into the wild.
Me eye. I lost me eye in a battle for me other eye against a school of cannibal mermaids. Me eye. I lost me eye in a battle for me other eye against a school of cannibal mermaids.
And who might you be? Haven't seen your face before. At least not as I remember.
I was told you might have some information about this blizzard. Something about an old woman in the mountains?
Ah, good. Someone else who will help me to convince Dunwyn to send someone to look for her.
Can you tell me about her? You think she can help with the blizzard?
Aye, for she has in the past. Back when my gran was but a girl, she and everyone in town sat through a blizzard twice as fierce and long as this one. They knew an old wise woman, though, one that lived in the mountains. She said that she would calm the storm, so long as the townsfolk gave her 13 babies to take as her own. Well, they brought them, and the next day, the blizzard was gone. But when someone went to thank the woman, they found that she and the children were gone too.
And you think she might be back?
If we ever needed her, it'd be either now or maybe another 2 weeks down the line when we're starting to think seriously about munching on each other. So yeah, I'd well imagine she'd come back for something like this.
Where's her cave supposed to be?
East of this mill, across the water from us, and tucked into the mountains.
Right. I'll see if I can find her.
On your own? Really should be getting a group together from the castle for this. Have some support. But, well, if you're sure, good luck. Can't let a bit of weather get in the way. Work hard and you'll keep warm.
Perhaps I am jaded and paranoid, but I would be careful while looking for this wise woman. There's every chance that she's the benevolent, motherly figure the lumberjack describes, but there's also a good chance that she's not so goodly as that. There are plenty of opportunists in the world.
Do not speak to me like that. Not your place to question me, child.
It is when you do something foolish. And do not call me a child.
I will, so long as you act like one.
100 years, but you still have not learned patience, girl.
Patience is only worthwhile if it will earn a reward. You're just wasting time.
This is worse than I'd thought. Katra, those are hags, and I do not mean that to be rude. They are evil witches that feed on misery and conduct foul rituals and spells. I've not seen this type before, but I have heard of them. Burr hags. These icy fiends could have more to do with the storm than we had thought.
Why do we even need more of us? You cast out the others centuries ago. It is only us left.
It is good to have sisters and daughters throughout the world. They will help us, a network of us to assist in times of need.
Or to stab us in the back when it is most convenient. Speaking of which, what happened to that wretch, Dringak? Where is she?
Here. I found a little mouse listening in at our doorstep. Isn't that sweet?
And what might the little mouse want of us? Pray tell.
Katra, this is a coven. Just one hag would probably be enough to summon the storm. With the three of them together, though, their powers are magnified. Be very careful.
I came to ask you to please stop the storm that's surrounding Keir Denival.
See? I told you that they would remember me. Better that they come asking for help than I go and offer it. Well then, I would be happy to help, as we do indeed have the power to stop this storm. All we ask in return, though, is that 13 children be given to us, that we might care for them as our own.
Do not listen to her, Katra. We have no idea what they would do to those children, but you can be sure that it will be far from nurturing.
You're the ones responsible for this blizzard, aren't you? If this same thing happened when you were last here, then...
Oh, a perceptive one.
How about instead of giving you the children, you end this storm that you've brought, leave, and never come back?
Or else what? You kill us?
It crossed my mind.
Very well. Try it then. Go on. Do your worst. I think that's enough, daughters. They have taken our point. You see, child, you are in no position to make demands. True. We will offer you an alternative. If you still refuse to bring us the children we ask for, then you may instead perform 3 tasks for us. We are so weak and fragile after all. A strong adventurer such as yourself would be far better suited to these errands.
And you'll stop the storm?
Yes, we will.
What do you want me to do then?
You must hide a sigil of our design on the town's old watchtower.
You must bring us the steering mechanism from the fallen Illithid vessel that lies in the snow.
And you must bring the purest crystal that you can find from within the caves northeast of town.
Fine then, I'll do it.
Excellent. Yes, excellent indeed.
The sigil you are to place on the watchtower. Put it somewhere on the top, but where wandering eyes won't find it. And do not even think of altering it. I will sense it if you do, and we will take matters into our own hands and bring even greater miseries to you and the town. Such torments as you have never dreamed.
Now go! I imagine that the good people of Keir Dinaval are getting rather hungry about now.
Agreeing to their demands may have been the only way to escape that cave alive, but you cannot actually intend on helping these creatures. These tasks are almost certainly designed to strengthen them somehow, or advance some other evil agenda.
I don't want to, but I don't see any better way. I'm not about to give them babies to do whatever with. We can't just leave the townsfolk to starve. If we don't do this, then someone else will come and give them what they want. Maybe we can find an opening, or some way to sabotage them.
I see nothing else that could be a helm. This is the only device available.
Is it magical?
I doubt it. Mind flayers typically abhor magic, depending entirely on their psionic powers.
You mean this entire thing was made and could fly without magic?
Unless you call psychic powers magical, yes.
That's intimidating.
You had best hope that you never have to meet those monstrosities.
Welcome to Kier de Naval. Enjoy the summer weather.
Careful how many potions you drink at once. You'll feel like death the next day otherwise. Greetings, traveler.
unfamiliar with these crystals. I can sense their power, but am unsure of how they could be used.
If the hags want one, then whatever it is can't be good.
Yes, thank you for stating the obvious. Please, why do you not remind me that the sky is blue?
Well, it isn't now, Vair. There's a storm going on.
You know perfectly well what I meant. I was unsure of what purpose the hag's other tasks had, but after watching the druids here use these crystals to power their magic leaves me with little doubt that this one will be turned toward destruction and pain.
My potions are too strong for you, traveler.
There, that space behind the crate should do. We had best hope that this by itself has not already caused irreversible damage. There, you have what you need and still no idea of how to defeat the hags.
No.
Well, at least this will get them to stop the blizzard. Hopefully, we should return. Wait, before you go in, listen to what they're saying. It sounds as though all three of them are in there, so you will likely not be caught off guard again.
But he still has the eye.
And do you propose going to find it?
I propose you going to find it. You are the youngest.
Oh, not this again. We're the same age, you fool. Mother made us at the same time. And if you're so concerned about it, then you should go.
Are you such a fool as to not recognize the danger of leaving it behind?
Oh, well, pardon me, Mother. If I am such a fool, though, I am clearly not qualified for such a task. Perhaps you, O powerful and wise one, should go out and fetch the little monster instead.
Idiot! I have to stay here and maintain the blizzard. One of you shall go.
And isolate one of us. What if a monster should corner us somehow?
How could something corner you on the open ice?
When I go to retrieve the eye from inside that pile of broken planks, something could trap me within.
Katra, I believe that they have lost a hag's eye.
There, I can see them. They have all of their eyes still.
No. It's an item. A powerful token that hags create to spy on other creatures or observe the world from afar. It is powerful and usually well guarded, but it is also a potentially crippling weakness. If you get that eye, you could have the advantage you need to remove these creatures from Icewind Dale once and for all.
Then, they said something about a bunch of broken planks. That doesn't sound like the lumber mill.
No, but I remember a shipwreck fairly near to the mill. It is a tenuous hope, but if the eye is there, this could change everything.
Okay. We need to be quick, though.
Indeed. Hurry.
Not seen you around before. Need it down.
Me thought Garg stay here until frozen dead, or until dead things outside eat Garg. Not sure which worse. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you know 3 hags who live in this area?
Ah! What? You know mistresses? They send you?
No, they did not. I have come because you have something that could help me to kill them.
Kill? You kill them?
Yes, would you give me the eye?
No. You take eye, and they know it, Garg. They kill you, and then they come kill Garg. No running from them.
If you give me the eye, I promise that I have the power to destroy them all for good. You can be free of them.
Life not much good with them anyhow. Here. Keep it covered. Keep them blind to you. Me think Garg tried to live best he can until mistresses find him when you dead.
Yeah, thanks for the vote of confidence.
Good. Now return to the hag's lair and...
Ah, I had not thought to find our new plaything here. And no little Garg in sight? Did you happen to find yourself a little trinket that you should not have? Give it to me, now!
I think I'll be keeping it. If you want to live, you should fly far, far away from here.
You really think that you could kill me, foolish child? I will take the eye from you and then bring you back for my family to toy with. Your screams will be shrill enough to start avalanches. You will pay for this betrayal.
Good riddance. Now quickly, Katra, to the other hags. They surely know by now that you have taken the eye. Finish them before they can either escape or ambush you to take the eye back.
Welcome to Kier Nineveh.
We know the child has it.
Dringak could have it. She is stupid enough to put it in her pocket.
But she is taking too long. If she has it, she has betrayed us and taken the eye for herself. And if she does not have it, then the child will surely come here for us.
True. We should prepare.
How? How can we?
Let me think!
It is now or never, Katra. Do not give them time to ready themselves. Destroy the eye and attack.
I can't see! I can't see! My magic is weak, Mother. The child must have killed Dringak.
Good. The townsfolk need not live under their tyranny any longer. Now go outside, see what has become of the storm. Excellent.
I'm just glad it worked and that the hags aren't boiling me for their soup or something. Let's get our reward and put this behind us.
Me eye. I lost me eye in a battle for me other eye against a school of cannibal mermaids. I figured that you would return as soon as the blizzard abated. Well, if you expect to take credit, you had best have proof.
There was a coven of hags in the mountains. They're part of that story the lumberjack was telling, and we're controlling the weather. You can find 2 of their bodies still in the cave, along with their equipment for spells. The third one is probably still on the ice by the shipwreck.
Very well. I'll send a team to verify this immediately. But if it turns out you just killed some old women and decorated the place to make it look like an evil den, then there will be rather harsh repercussions.
Huh. Hadn't even considered that possibility. Maybe you should have brought one of their heads.
Over the next few hours, you chat with Lord Dunwind, giving him the tales and news from the south that you had offered when you first arrived at the castle. When the expedition returns, they seem cold, tired and shaken.
They were telling the truth. We found the cave and those creatures. They certainly weren't human. At least I sincerely hope no human could look like that. And the one by the shipwreck? Not even the crag cats would touch it. If the story is true about giving children to those creatures,
Seems that I should have given that fairy tale a little more credence, and it also seems that I owe you a reward. Thank you for helping us, truly. Now that the storm is over, life can go back to normal, and the unwashed masses will finally leave me alone again. Safe travels.
Looks like Lord Dunwin gave us one of Thesserai's cards. An extra gift, or does he think it's junk that he can foist on us? Doesn't matter.
Whenever you're ready, go speak to the man with the cart to continue your adventures. Of course, there may still be more to do here. You can also go and revisit Candlekeep if you like. The choice is yours.